welcome back. I'm about to crash out. This is my third attempt at recording this. My phone died when I was actually doing good. So now I've resorted to using my iPad to record while I read off of my laptop. I just have to actually get to it. I'm also gonna crash out because this fic is so long. This is forced on me. The fic that I've been hyping up for 2-3 months, I think. Yeah. So I'm really excited to actually read this, but it's probably gonna end up being multiple parts on here. So yeah, just gonna say that. I'm trying to... I have something in my inbox. Hold on. I want to see what's in my inbox, guys. Oh, someone just put a heart. Okay. I love you, I love you guys. Thank you. Sorry. This intro is going to be longer than my other ones from my other attempts at this. No, because I hate that my phone died in the middle of me recording. Excuse me. The audacity. Let me cook. Actually, let me cook. Please. I'm just trying to read a fan fiction. Let me cook. Sorry. Brain rot. Okay. I'm gonna read the summary, then I'll start the first chapter. Honestly, I don't know what I've been talking about for the past 2 minutes. So, yeah. CapCut's gonna kick my ass in a bit, so love that for me. Love that. Okay. I'll actually start reading now. I'm sorry. I love you guys. Don't kill me, please. Okay. So again, this is Forced on Me by Dark Phantom 248. Summary. Izuku is forced to be the UA traitor by his father. He hates it, but he knows that he has to follow through with his demands unless he wants to die. Hisashi wants Izuku to put on an act, so Izuku will give him a show worth watching. Chapter 1. UA may not be for me. You have to work for me, Izuku, my dad said. He was on the verge of screaming. You are my son. I had to suppress an eye roll. Are you trying to make my life harder? I demanded. I'm already going to UA as the first quirkless student. I don't need to be a traitor as well. I don't care, Izuku. You are my son and you will listen to me unless you want to be like Tenko, my dad said, raising a challenging eyebrow. I froze. Tenko is my older brother. The only reason he actually works with our father is because our dad threatened him. Threatened his life. He wasn't trying to threaten my life now, was he? You're threatening me now? I asked, raising my own challenging eyebrow. If it's what I have to do to get you to join me, then yes, I am, he said, arms crossed over his chest. Ugh, fine, I said, throwing my arms up in exasperation after a few minutes of silence. At least you know it's good for you, Izuku, he said, ruffling my hair as he walked away. Once the door closed behind him, I sighed. Why do I have to join him? Why couldn't he ask, Kachan or something? Actually, Kachan probably would have exploded his face, so I guess that's why he didn't ask him. But why do I have to be the traitor? My life will already be hard at UA, being the first quirkless student in the hero course. Why do I have to be the traitor as well? I know Yuga Aoyama got into UA, and I know his family works with All for One, my father, but apparently, since I'm his son, I have to be a villain and not the people who actually asked him to give or take their quirks. I sighed, again, as I got ready for my first day at UA. I was excited to actually have a chance at my dream, but if I get caught as the UA traitor, my dad will either kill me before I can get to that point in my life, or I'll get blacklisted from every hero school in the world, and I'll have no chance of becoming a hero. I shook my head to get rid of that train of thought. I quickly finished putting my stuff into my backpack and zipped it up before throwing my old yellow backpack over my shoulder and leaving my room. I didn't even stop in the kitchen to get breakfast. I just walked to the foyer of our apartment, and I put on my shoes. I didn't feel like calling out to my father as I opened the door and slammed it behind me. I made my way towards the train station. I was kicking a rock all the way there. I got to the station just in time, since when I got there, my train was just starting to board. I got on the train and decided to pull out my analysis notebook, number 15. I filled up 2 notebooks with analysis in the past 10 months since I was working on organizing my analysis. The hero I started analyzing last night before I went to bed was an underground hero, Nighthawk. Her quirk is called Eye Scope. Her quirk allows her to adjust her vision, so if she gets flashbanged or the lights go out, she can still see perfectly fine. She can also see things that are really far away, and she can see really close details. Her quirk is so amazing. Nighthawk is one of my favorite underground heroes. She's probably second on my list after Eraserhead. Eraserhead is both my favorite underground hero and my favorite hero. He's been my inspiration since I was 4. Even though I idolized All Might when I was younger, Eraserhead was the hero I aspired to be since he fights basically quirkless. Eraserhead's quirk is called Erasure. When it's active, it allows him to suppress a person's quirk factor. His quirk activates through his eyes. He has to be looking at his target to be able to erase their quirk factor, and once he blinks, his quirk deactivates. I'm so excited to get to UA. Eraserhead is a teacher at UA, so maybe I'll get to see him around the school. I wonder who my homeroom teacher is going to be. All of the teachers are heroes, so no matter who I get as a homeroom teacher, I'll be excited. The train finally made it to my stop, so I put away my notebook and got off the train. I started walking towards UA. As I approached the gate, I could see a crowd of reporters. I know UA hasn't released the information about All Might working here, so either they're here for another reason, it's unlikely, but hey, you never know, or one of the incoming first years put it on social media. I sighed as I got closer to the reporters. I started pushing my way through the crowd when I heard someone yell, "Oh my god, it's Izuku Midoriya, the son of the famous quirk analyst Hisashi Midoriya!" The reporters all started closing in on me. "What's your quirk?" one reporter asked. "What's it like being the son of a famous analyst?" another reporter asked. "Are you in the hero course?" someone asked. "Are you a first-year student?" another asked. I acted like I was unfazed by their questions, and I didn't answer as I looked around for an escape. There was a small gap between 2 reporters that I might be able to squeeze through. Right as I was about to try my escape plan, one reporter said, "You're so lucky to be the son of a famous analyst, but you probably only got in because Hisashi's your father, not because of your skills." I stopped moving. I turned my head to look at the reporter. When he realized he had my attention, he started rapid-firing questions at me as every other reporter shut their mouths. At least the other reporters knew when to shut up. "What the fuck did you just say?" I asked, glaring at the man as I cut him off. He stopped talking. "Huh? Oh, I said you're lucky to be Hisashi's son, but you probably only got in because he's your father," the man said, smiling proudly. I punched the man in the nose. I made sure I didn't break his nose, though. The man staggered backwards, holding his nose. Several of the reporters gasped and took a step away from me. "You really think I want to take advantage of my father's fame to get into a good school? That's the last thing I would do. I don't care who my father is. I didn't get into UA because my father recommended me. I got into UA by going through the regular hero course entrance exam. I could have gone into general studies and I would have been fine with it. I wouldn't have gone crying to my father, screaming and crying that I didn't get into the hero course. I would have worked my ass off to get into the hero course like Eraserhead did when he was at UA. So don't come over to me and tell me I only got into this school because of my father," I said, glaring daggers into the reporter. "Damn," a voice said from behind me. I turned my head to see a boy with gravity-defying purple hair and very pronounced eye bags. "That's badass. Want to get away from the reporters?" I studied the boy for a minute, trying to decide if I could trust him. I nodded and walked towards him. "Let's go," I said, looking into his amethyst eyes. The boy nodded and grabbed my hand to drag me away from the reporters. Once we were inside the UA gates, he started talking. "I'm Hitoshi Shinzo. You're Izuku Midoriya, right?" he asked, turning his head slightly to see my face. I nodded. "It's nice to meet you, Shinzo," I said, as we walked towards the building. "It's nice to meet you too, Midoriya," Shinzo said. "Please, just call me Izuku. I don't like using my father's last name," I said, looking down at the sidewalk. "Okay, Izuku it is then," Shinzo said, a smile on his lips. "What course are you in?" "Oh, I'm in the hero course. You?" I asked, tilting my head in curiosity. "I'm in general studies, but I want to try and get into the hero course through the sports festival," Shinzo said. "Like Eraserhead?" I asked, excitedly. "Yeah, wait, you know who Eraserhead is?" Shinzo asked, stopping and looking at me with with wide eyes. Yes, he's literally my favorite hero, I exclaimed, stopping as well. We were almost to the doors. Same, Shinzo exclaimed, eyes bright with excitement as he smiled. I smiled back and we started walking again. As we walked into the school, we started talking about Eraserhead. We figured out that we live near each other, considering we see Eraserhead near our houses on the same days. We were almost to the first-year classrooms when Shinzo asked, "What class are you in, A or B?" "Oh, I'm in A," I said, smiling slightly. "What class are you in, C, D, or E?" "I'm in C. At least we're not far from each other." Shinzo shrugged. I nodded in agreement. "Hey, do you want to have lunch together?" I asked, eyes bright with excitement. "Yeah, sure," Shinzo said, shrugging. Again, he does that a lot. I don't think I'll have anyone else... Sorry, guys. I don't think I'll have anyone else to sit with anyway, so sure. I smiled. "Yay!" I exclaimed, giving Shinzo a side hug. Shinzo didn't push me away, so I wasn't embarrassed when I pulled away. After that, we made it to my classroom. "This is your class," Shinzo said, stopping next to me. "Good luck. I'll see you at lunch," he said, smiling as he walked away. "See ya," I said, smiling. Once he was halfway to his classroom, I turned and opened the door to my own class. My ears were immediately assaulted by the yelling they were doing. Kachan was the loudest person, but I was used to him. I groaned. "Shush!" I yelled, and that made everyone go quiet and look at me. "You guys can't just scream in the classroom. Please, be considerate of others' eardrums." "God," I said, making my way to my seat, which was behind Kachan. Apparently, everyone was struck dumb, including Kachan, for my statement. Some people started whispering as I sat down at my desk. I could tell Kachan was about to turn around and say something to me, but before he could, the bell rang, and our sensei walked in. I looked at the door and I saw my dream come true. Eraserhead, or Shota Aizawa, walked into the room. He pinched the bridge of his nose. "Midoriya," he said, looking at me. I just tilted my head in confusion. "Why did you punch a reporter in the nose?" Everyone whirled around in their seats to look at me. "Oh," I said. "He was telling me I got into UA because my father's well known." He sighed. "You know you can't just injure someone because they made a false claim, right?" Aizawa asked, looking at me with his eyes narrowed. "Well, yeah," I said, shrugging. "The reporter I punched is also an escaped criminal, though." Everyone's eyes widened. Aizawa raised an eyebrow. "He's an abuser," I said. "He was arrested 2 weeks ago for abusing his wife and children and for illegal quirk use." "How do you know this?" Aizawa asked, a tad bit of concern lacing his tone. "My mom's a nurse and a lawyer. The wife and kids were rushed to the hospital she works at, and she was taking care of them. She ended up taking the case to get the kids and the wife away from the man. It's also all over my Instagram feed for some reason." I explained. Not exclaimed. He's not happy about that. Aizawa sighed. "Good job," he said, giving me a half-hearted thumbs up. "Now he can be put into police custody." I gave him a small smile. "Anyways, I'm your homeroom teacher, Shota Aizawa," he said, walking to the podium. "I know you're all probably really excited for the assembly." There were several cheers. He flashed his quirk. Everyone was quiet. "Well, we're not going to the assembly," he said, grinning wickedly. There were several outcries. Before Aizawa could flash his quirk again, I yelled, "Stop!" Everyone went quiet and Aizawa looked at me. "Let him finish, God." "Thank you, Midoriya," he said, turning back to the class. I'll explain what we're doing in a bit. First, come get your gym uniforms and go get changed. Then meet me at the PE grounds." Aizawa pulled out a box with gym uniforms and put it on his desk. After putting the box down, he left the room. Everyone started scrambling to the front to get their uniforms. I got up slowly and I grabbed my uniform from the top. I was the first one to leave the classroom. I made my way to the locker rooms. Once I got there, I quickly put my gym clothes on over my long-sleeve compression jumpsuit. After I finished changing, I made my way to the PE grounds. When I got to the PE grounds, Aizawa-sensei was already there waiting. As I approached, he noticed me. "You're fast," he mused, watching as I approached. Yeah, everyone else was just fighting to get to the box of uniforms, I said, shrugging. I just walked around them and grabbed my uniform off the top of the box. Aizawa sighed. Of course they were. He shook his head slightly. Since we'll probably have to wait a bit for the rest of the class, you can just sit down and do whatever. Just don't annoy me. I nodded and took a seat on the ground, pulling out my phone. I was scrolling on my Instagram feed, where I kept getting stories about escaped criminals, when someone came up behind me and grabbed me by my shoulders. I didn't react. I just looked up at the person. To my surprise, it was Shinzo who was behind me. I raised an eyebrow and questioned why he was here. He just shrugged. Hey, Aizawa, he said, and Aizawa turned to look at him. Here, Shinzo said, throwing a piece of paper at Aizawa. Aizawa caught it with ease, and he opened the note and quickly skimmed over its contents. He looked at Shinzo with a questioning gaze, as he asked, Why does Mike want you to sit in on my class? I don't know. You should ask him yourself, Shinzo said, shrugging as he sat down in front of me. Aizawa sighed as he took out his phone, probably to call Present Mike. Do you really not know why you're here? I asked Shinzo, tilting my head. Nope. President Mike just handed me a piece of paper and said to go give it to a racerhead who was at the PE grounds, Shinzo said, shrugging. Okay, I said, laughing slightly. Is your homeroom class loud? Not really. Is yours? Shinzo asked, looking at me with a curious look in his eyes. Yes, I groaned, laying down in front of him. I literally yelled at them to be quiet twice this morning. Yikes, he said, wincing slightly. Sounds rough. I feel bad for you, and Eraserhead. Yeah, I feel bad for myself and Eraserhead, too, I said, closing my eyes so the sun wouldn't murder my eyes. Aizawa sighed as he hung up the phone. Okay, Shinzo, you can sit in on my class, since Mike keeps insisting that you do, but you're only watching, not participating. Got it? He asked. Yes, sir, Shinzo said, giving Aizawa a two-fingered salute. I chuckled at his antics. Aizawa just rolled his eyes and went back to looking at his phone and the school exit. Shinzo and I talked for another 10 minutes before other students started coming out of the school. While Shinzo and I talked, he had asked me to call him Hitoshi, since he was calling me Izuku. I agreed, of course. I'm gonna stop here for now, because my family is loud. Or starting to be loud. I can hear my brother from in here. Like, actually, that's annoying. But that's like, we're gonna start the quirk apprehension test in the next part. So, yay! I don't know how many words I've read. Like, actually, I'm gonna crash out, though. So, this is actually not that long, for now. For now. It's the for now that's getting me. The fact that I can't pause the recording is why I'm stopping here, because I feel like my brother's gonna come in my room in a minute or something. So I'm gonna stop here. So I hope you guys don't kill me for that. You'll figure out who the first person to come out of the building was in the next part, and yeah, you'll get the whole quirk apprehension test. And then I'll stop at the end of the quirk apprehension test, and then this is probably only gonna be like 3 parts, like, actually, now that I think about it. So it's gonna be like 3-4 parts for this chapter, which actually is kind of depressing for me. So wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck so I don't crash out. I love you guys. Bye.